All right, we are working on '05 Volvo XC90. That's the T6. So basically, I'm not going to uh, too much about this video as far as why you're looking at the motor, the um, the way it is right now. But I'm going to go straight to the point. So as you can see, majority of a lot of things as far as parts already been removed. So I'm about to remove the head. I mean the manifold cover, so I can see exactly what's going on with the engine itself, because I have a locked engine, which means my engine is locked. So once I remove the manifold, which is that cover right there, I'm gonna remove the cover. Then I'll be able to analyze what's going on. If I have to go deeper, then most likely I'm gonna have to remove the head block itself, which should be not a big deal is at this point. So there's so many screws as far as um, I would say the size of this. So this is where I place them so far, and this is just probably the half of the amount of screws that I'm gonna have to remove, and they go all around where they're coming out at. So let's make a long story short. So when I realized the motor seized, I tried the old school way by turn the motor, see if it can turn freely by hands. Um, I couldn't do anything about it as far as it wouldn't move. Try pour fuel as far as gas inside the cylinder head. So I have six of them. I mean, the spark plugs had one, two, three, four, five, six. So I remove the spark plugs. I pour fuel in there, let it sit for 24, 72 hours. I think I will see about 48 hours, not 72 hours. And it turned a little bit, but not free. So at that point, I realized I had to do something a little bit more constructive than that by removing the head manifold, which is this right here. I would say, as far as the cover, then removing the whole block and see what type of damage um, there might be. So anyway, we're gonna continue removing more screws and get to the bottom of this. Now, as far as these little bolts that I'm removing, they pretty much the same size. Um, the size socket that feed it is a 10 millimeter. Don't know if you can see it. That's the one that fit for that. I would say pretty much everything besides these right here, but the rest of them is a 10 millimeter that fit that. All right, so you see that connection right here? So I think that's a sense. That's a sensor for the pulley, whatever those two pulley between the that belt right here. That's the engine belt. So the size that fit for that looks like that's 516. That fit that little bolt right here. So this bolt right here that's different. Is compared to the rest of them. Um, now when you look closely, you're gonna see a couple of them still remaining inside their location. It's just the fact that once I remove the spark plugs, once I remove the spark plugs, all right, sorry about that. So anyway, as I was saying, once I remove the spark plug covers, um, I didn't want to misplace the screws because you have different size. This one right here, see how tiny this one is, that, and you have the rest of them. They pretty much different. So once I realized that I didn't want to misplace them, so I placed them back after I done remove the spark plug cores. And plus, you have two holes right here, so nothing goes in there. So I didn't want to get them confused. And you see, it's a lot of them. You got that what you want to call it engine oil bypass. I mean the oil bypass. You got one right here. You got one on the other side. So uh, once I replace the two little parts that was here, I placed the screws back in there. So just for some people it may not be a big deal, but for some it is. Like for me it is. So anyway, that sensor right here, when you remove that sensor, be careful you don't damage it. All right. So you can tell it's important. The way it's located, that's between the two pulley for the belt for the engine. And those pipe right here, I was able to remove a pipe that was here, and these two over here, it's kind of hard to remove them two right here. So I probably gonna try to leave them the way they did, and I'm not gonna mess with them if I don't have to. So the one I was talking about, that's the one that was sitting right in here, just like so. So that's how it was sitting. So I was able to remove that one and kind of give me a little bit room because I had one of the bolts over here, and in order to remove that screw, I had to remove that. So of course that's the little screw thing or the little bolt thing that we remove. And it doesn't look like that sensor right there want to come out. We're not gonna force it, so we're gonna leave it just like that as long as we unloose it. So I'm gonna put that right back where it was at. I'm gonna put it right back. Now what I did is, of course, once once I loose it, see, put it away from it, then put the bolt right there where it came out at, but the sensor away from it. So far, one of the most difficult thing that I have to face so far is that camshaft sensor right here. Um, there's a bolt right here. There's a bolt right here. There's another bolt over here down there. That right here is not that bad, but it's still problematic. But the one down there, I just removed it, and I had to improvise trying to find a way to remove it. But this is the thing that fitted the size for this. If I can see it, it's so scratched up I can't even see it. But anyway, so somehow you're gonna have to I made a combination like this and literally hook that. See if I can place that sit somewhere I can show you and have that like that. And I had to hook that part like this, and I was able to fit that with the top, and I was able to remove the top. Now the bottom, this is where I had to extend it and take it from the bottom somewhere. So I place it all the way in here and drive that all the way down there, lift that up and get it underneath this. And all you need just um loose that just a little bit, then you'll be able to finish it with your hands. But so far, this camshaft sensor actually is the one so far is the most hard time that I'm having so far. And the timing that the two pieces that I mentioned earlier, that's the timing belt. That's the timing belt actuator set. So that these two came from here. I don't know if you can recall, they basically side by side is two of them, and that's the other one, like this. So this is where I remove both of them like that. So that called timing belt actuator, and make sure you don't damage them. So just to make sure I cover that, so you have two camshaft sensor. You have one on each side. There's one over here that I already removed that. So which right here. And the funny thing about it, I found different screws from this one, which, if I'm not mistaken, they like this. Nowhere the same as the one that I just removed. Now, if you ask me where I put it at, but I look for it. So it's nowhere near the same as same one. All right, so we got the head cover loose. The only thing that's keeping me from removing it is this pipe right here. So I might have to remove this pipe in order to able to remove it. See, I can't take it out all the way because of that. So I was hoping not to, but I have no choice. So this is what I'm gonna use. The size of this wrench is 10 millimeter. So we're gonna remove that. There's a screw right in here. Screw right there. So be able to fit that in there. Alright, so it's fit right in there. So I might have to break it one time, maybe a couple times, and be able to take it out. So it was a good thing where I didn't have to remove the whole pipe. All I had to do was just loose that screw and kind of push the pipe away from the block, and I was able to lift that. So this is what was that 125 or 30,000 miles on that. So whether or not there was work that was previously done, but it doesn't show it inside of that. So we got that done. Now we're gonna inspect both camshafts before we even attempt to remove the block. Now there's not extreme damage or even damage at all. The only thing that I've seen is this cylinder right there. It looks like there's a sign of water trap, like the water made its way in here, but there's no water inside as far as the cylinder itself. So, and then this little ring right here, all the rings looks like they're in good shape. There's no sign of crack, anything like that. So that's just normal tear and wear. The camshaft look normal. Now, now this belt right here, I'm gonna have to change that because you can see crack. That needs to be changed. So I'm gonna remove that, change the belt, and inspect the camshaft itself as far as the pulley. And make sure that's gonna be when I'm removing the block itself. Now you got the little gasket right here. So if it's good, if you want to change it, you can change it. But you see how I leave the screws, to at least keep the gasket on. Now, if you're doing a job like this, your starter gonna be right here in this area. So I would suggest you or recommend you, if you have any problem with your starter, go ahead and do so. And your alternator will be right here. I'm gonna make sure that my alternator is good. So I'm gonna remove it and take it to AutoZone or one of the parts store and have them bench press it and make sure it's giving me the right voltage. Is make sure it's in a good shape. Otherwise, if not, uh, I would take the opportunity while this whole thing is empty to go ahead and replace it, because this is not anything that's in here. That make sure you test everything before you put everything back together, because you can see how compact is this area, even trying to remove anything. So, all right, now in order to remove that cover, for the belt from my head, all right, you're gonna have to. It just snap, so snap that back. But to remove it all the way, you, um, you have to remove that top, water reservoir. You have to remove that to undo that right here with a flat screwdriver. Can't even catch it. So that's it right there. You want to do that. Then pull. You just pull on that water hose right here, and you should be able to undo that. But you're gonna lose a lot of antifreeze, so just be aware of that. And almost forgot. So the small hose, you can undo it right here. Be careful you don't pull on the other end, because you might break the line. And if you break that line, there's a pitch down there you're gonna have to replace. But make sure you undo the small water hose up here. So once you remove the water reservoir away, then you should be able to play with that with the cover and remove the cover out. So once you get the cover out, now your ECM, as far as your computer ECM that were here, so make sure you remove them. That's I'm gonna have to do another video to show you how to remove those things. They pretty much a pain in the butt to remove them if you don't have the proper tools for them. So that's the reason why you see my rag over here cover that. So I don't want no dirt get between the slots. So again, as far as removing, once you get the cover out, so removing the belt, it's pretty much not a big deal because you already have your camshaft loose. So just like that, and it looks like, yeah. Now look at what just now the belt broke, so that's not a good thing. Found the belt broke and it's stuck. Not a good thing. I did not wanna have to experience that, but unfortunately, it looks like the belt broke. That was probably the main problem with the. Yep, the belt broke and it's stuck. So let's find out why is it stuck. So what it appears to me, if you look at trying to do two things at once. If you look at all the way down there, you're gonna see where the belt stuck at. Okay, that's that's part of it stuck at. How that happened? It looks like it's between the main pulley, because that's the main pulley right there in the back of the pulley. I mean the crankshaft pulley. That's where it's stuck at. So my guess is when that belt broke, of course the the car must be driven for a while until it happened. After it broke, they continue driving the car, and then that that happened. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna jack the vehicle and turn the crankshaft the opposite way. So in order to show you what's going on here, you would have to jack the vehicle and remove the passenger side front tire so you can have access here. All right, so you're gonna have to pull away some stuff as far as this whatever cover right here. You're gonna have to make some room so you can see the crankshaft pulley. Now there's a plate which is for the crankshaft that I just removed. There's only four bolt that was holding that plate, and once you remove that plate, you're gonna be able to see what's going on with the timing belt itself. So apparently, when you look at through here, you can see the timing belt in here. See that it folded um, in the back of the pulley. I don't know if you can see it, but that's it right there. That's the belt. That's part of the belt. There you looking at. See how the thing folded real tight. So in order to remove that, I might have to remove that big pulley right here, that big nut, and to be able to pry this to remove the pulley and be able to see if there's any damage in the back of this thing. So my thing is, I don't know how much damage that motor. Oh, I don't know how much damage that might create it because of this situation. Um, I don't know if I'm wasting my time with this motor, but I'm gonna have to make another video to keep up with that. And that's the belt from the top. This is where it broke. So I thought I was gonna be able to get it from down here just by rotating the crankshaft, but apparently the problem is worse than I thought. So if I'm wasting my time, please um, let me know if it's worth fixing. Hopefully, once I remove the belt, the serpentine belt, I mean the timing belt, um, I think that's probably why the engine most definitely was seized because of the timing belt. So once I remove the timing belt, it should unseize. All right, so I'm gonna have to make a follow up video just for this bad news. It's been a long day.